Good morning and good day to everyone watching across the globe. Thank you for joining today. This is your Manjula and founder of Her Second Innings and The Next Innings, two purpose driven platform committed to enabling the career comebacks, future ready talent pipelines. Today we have very special guest. We are honored to welcome Deepa Kaur, a senior manager talent acquisition at Epsilon, a senior leader shaping inclusive tech hiring and in data analytics and Gen AI. And she's very instrumental for our mission too in Epsilon, especially to bring many of the women candidates in Epsilon. And we are honored to just bring her today to bring her valuable insights for job explorers and a returning professional and even the HR professional who are just going to grow and then looking at leadership space, how to evolve. Deepa comes with 2 decades of experience. Today, it is our honor and privilege to get her insights and going forward, how she is just enjoying the space, how she's transforming the people, and happy to hear from Deepa today. Welcome, Deepa, to our session and happy to host you today.
Thank you so much, Manjula. It was such a warm welcome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Yes, I do come with a lot of years of experience. And if I have to summarize my experience in just one line, I would say it has been incredible journey of learning. And today also, I am here in this session just for my learning and, of course, to share my learning with others. I definitely have worked with a lot of, bootstrap startups or mid-sized companies. And right now I'm working with Epsilon as a senior manager TA. And I definitely am proud to say that I have got opportunity to work with a lot of good leaders in my journey, where I successfully built and managed the high performing recruitment teams, where we not only enhance the hiring efficiency but also implemented strategies to improve candidate experience. And I have experience in leading the hiring for product engineering, sales, marketing, and whatnot. But today, it's not about me, but it's about us, where we will, collaborate, we will share and, exchange thoughts.
Absolutely. And thanks for being with us and then talking about. And when you say about today, you are here for learning, let me share about you, right? And it is my privilege to bring those part of it. And you be as a tech, you started your career in HR. And I was looking at your LinkedIn. Even today, you have just completed your LinkedIn certification in AI for recruitment. So that's the appetite what you just bring onto the table to continuously learn about a new technology and wherever you are to mold yourself and bring the best out of it. So with that, I just wanted to take one question before we get into your regular part of others part of it, but your part, I would like to bring it. 2 decades of HR experience. It's really amazing to see the level of learning. And as you rightly said, you've been part of a startup and you've been as a freelancer. You did everything. It's a you're sitting on now in the Fortune 500 clients where you can just build the different kind of a strategy and then bring it over there. Tell us about your learning and how did other leader and I'm sure you do have a mentors to shape you up as well. Today, before the session, also you were talking about it. Tell us about your journey in a quick way to inspire where you were started and where are you today, Deepa?
Sure. So as you rightly said, I come from a technical background. So I'm an engineer, basically. Okay. So I did my engineering in information technology. Like any other household, it was my father's push, to complete my engineering. But when I completed my graduation, I was looking for something else, and when I kind of evaluated all the options, and when I started doing a proper research on, what are the areas to explore and where my interest lies, what am I passionate about, right? HR, was one of the areas where I felt that I am blending in really well. this is my forte, right? This is the place where I will excel. um, However, there is one more trait I would say that I actually am very proud of, is something to do with my curiosity, right? So when you are curious, you learn on the go every time, every second, right? So that is something which helped me to gain a lot more experience in my current field. Even if there was something which was not part of my maybe the KRA, but still I went ahead and learned about it. So honestly, if I have to tell you honestly, Manjula, you don't have to be Rome to understand what Roman culture is like, right? So I believe in that, concept. I like to learn every day. I like to learn about everything what I'm interested about. So maybe that trait of mine, that curiosity, the learning mindset, actually pushed me towards gaining more and more experience in my current field. And of course, I should definitely give the credit to my mentors, who actually shaped my personality, shaped my career by giving me timely feedbacks, which I definitely accepted with a lot more grace, because it's a must. Because when you get criticism from somebody else, you have to take it positively and work towards it. So I have been doing that day in and day out till now. After gaining 2 decades of experience, I still do, right? So maybe that is something which has helped me to shape my career. And I tell this to everyone: learning should not stop. The day when you stop learning, maybe it's a full stop.
Absolutely. And thanks for starting a wonderful way to talk about the two inputs, what you have just shared about it. One, learning never stops. Continue to just do that about it. And another important point you brought is about the mentors, where everybody should be holding our mentors, so that we don't know what we don't know. But when someone comes to us and then hold our hand and then helps us out, it is really a brilliant way to grow. Thanks for just sharing about it. Hope our audience are looking at you as a way forward to take these inputs and to start our conversation. So, with that,
Sure.
let's dwell into our topic, where you've been part of a tech organization where you are bringing transformation in the talent space, what you are just doing. So with Epsilon, what is that currently you are doing, Deepa? We do see that technology is shaping up and Epsilon is really on a data side and Gen AI side of it. What is that is happening in Epsilon for recently?
See, you have been seeing my post every day, right? So we are hiring. We are hiring across all the teams, right? But if you are asking me, if we are hiring in the analytics space or maybe Gen I, yes, we are on the hiring spree for roles like data scientist or maybe a data engineer or maybe a AI and ML engineer. So we are looking out for such candidates. We definitely look for candidates who bring the technical expertise, along with some other areas which we will definitely cover in our discussion further. But there are certain roles which are into analytics, which are ongoing, and we are hiring for those. And we are looking out for people who have experience in Python, maybe SQL, data pipeline or ETL process. We do have BI developer role open, where we are looking out for somebody with Power BI and Tableau experience. So yes, we do. We are hired.
Awesome. This is a good curiosity for people to just look at that. What else you are going to share about the new topics, what you are hiring about it. So probably let's just build on to that. I know about we are at least 3 to 4 years we are connected with as a client with Epsilon. You brought many of the women on table to just bring them. If women wanted to come back and then apply for it, what is that you would be looking at them as a skill perspective or the adaptability perspective to bring them on to Epsilon?
See, if I have to tell you, and in fact, let me tell you, this is a very thoughtful question, and I wanted to address this. When it comes to returnees, not only women returnees, I will maybe label it as returnees, right? Or somebody who is a domain shifter, for example, um, more and more professionals right now are returning, at work after a sabbatical, after a break, or maybe pivoting into a new domain like AI. Now, from hiring and readiness perspective, there are a few things which we have to keep in mind as candidates, right? The very first thing what corporates actually look for is the learning agility, right? When it comes to learning agility, what I mean is that you have to highlight, something which you have recently completed a project, for example. It again is directly proportional to what I mentioned before. It's learning, right? Even if you are on a break, even if you are not working, for that particular duration, you have to really attempt to upskill yourself. And as I said, you don't have to be in Rome to understand what Roman culture looks like. So you can upskill yourself on a daily basis, right? You can go on to the platforms like we have Coursera, right? We have Google certifications. We have, say, for example, Microsoft certifications. So you can definitely highlight those completion of your recent certifications, just for one reason, that it shows initiative, right? Initiative, curiosity, and ability to keep up with the evolving trends, because the maybe the technology stack which I was using 4 years before is not, it's obsolete right now, right? So it kind of shows your initiative to keep up with the market trends, right? The second the second point which I want to highlight is, highlight your projects at the right place, highlight your work at the right place. So for example, you have GitHub repositories, right? Join competitions like Kaggle competitions you have for tech people, right? You have, maybe you can work on some Gen I prototypes and highlight, on any one of the platforms. What helps by doing it? It kind of demonstrates your skills and problem solving, even without having a official formal work experience. So you kind of put your work out there, right, to the right audience. Third, I would say, communication. The clear articulation of your insights about your work is a must. It's necessary. It's very extremely important. How you can communicate or how you can articulate your data to support your decisions, about your project. So that is a must. And the last, I would say, networking. It's a key. Participation in meetups. You can join some online forums. You can join hackathons or maybe some mentorship programs as well. So now every one of us definitely have a list of companies, right, where we want to join, or there are open roles in various companies where we want to apply for. So pick up those names, pick up those, the names of the people, maybe a job poster or a mutual connection. You really have to connect with them. You have to network with them. So I think with these approaches, it helps a returnee or a domain shifter, I would say, in to a large extent.
Awesome. Lovely to just hear about the detailed approach of how someone can just go about and then make sure they are finding. So the one thing I'm just realizing is it's no longer you applied your job and you're going to get a call and then make it. It's a effort where we have to just make it happen. It's individual work which has to come over there. So that's the message I'm just getting. So then tell me something. When we get a JD is meant for the organization what they are looking for. But I would have had a CV which is meant for me, what I have just done as a HR, as a project manager, as a developer. So you're going to help me for 2 pointers. One, for a JD, should I change my CV and send it across? Could be the first one. And with the ATS, what is that I should be pushing myself to make sure I am in the top list? Please help me out.
Okay, so JD alignment definitely helps, and it's more to do I mean there's something more to it. Okay, so let me just first cover the JD alignment part. Okay, so JD alignment definitely helps when you have to send your resume, and when you kind of see an open role, you send the CV in the ATS. So definitely alignment with the keywords definitely helps, right? That is one. Second, when you can mirror the JD, if you want to pass a very first filter, then definitely it helps, right? The third thing I would say, for tech roles where matching tools or language is essential sometimes. Now, coming to the second part of the question, do we tailor resume as per the roles? Manjula, it's not practical, it's not realistic, right? Because you have a number of roles available in the market, and you cannot tailor resume as per every job position you are going to apply. You will have thousands of resume formats in your CV, in your desktop, right? So resume does not need to mirror the JD word for word, not for sure, but it should strategically align with it. Okay, and I myself have spoken to a lot of people, like my peers in other industries, other companies, during screening, especially for returnees or maybe domain shifters. Many recruiters and hiring managers look beyond just keyword matches. Okay. Now, what matters beyond that, beyond JD matching? The very first thing is, again, the skills, right? If you are highlighting transferable skills in your resume, so when I say transferable skills, it could be like a problem solving approach or stakeholder management, right? That kind of stands out in the CV. Second is mention clear quantifiable achievements, right? For example, improved report efficiency by 30%, right? It's quantifiable. You are putting it out there. So definitely it shows readiness and value, regardless of your domain, right? The third would be the learning mindset. Again, learning is coming again and again. So learning mindset, what I mean by this is put out your certification, self-initiated projects in your resume, which definitely shows initiative, right? And adaptability. And it is very, very important for career pivoters, I must tell you, right? The last which I can think of right now is narrative fit. Okay. A well crafted summary or a short cover letter, right? It definitely helps. It kind of connects the dots between your previous work experience and the new role, which you are applying for, and it definitely can be more compelling to the hiring managers or the recruiters. So basically, if you are reaching out to someone, have a cover note. Just don't blindly say, hey, I want to apply for this job role. And I do get such kind of messages in my LinkedIn box, right? People just drop hi and then there is a silence, right? Instead, I think the candidates really need to put out a small note that, just say that what your experience is and how you can add value to that particular role. That helps, actually.
Absolutely. You just brought another important point of networking doesn't mean that you have to go physically and meet people. Even when they say hi to you with a good message, why they are reaching out to you. And also, every time we just keep sharing that immediately asking for a job, you may or may not get your answer. But if we tweak that question into a different perspective, can I get a coffee meter for 10 minutes just to get your insights? What should I do? Many of the people are willing to just extend the thinking process to enable the conversation, because your insight can change another person's perspective on the world, right?
Absolutely. I can give you one example. I was working in one of the previous organizations way back in 2013 and 14. I got a message from a candidate who had like 2 3 years of experience, and this candidate wanted to apply for a recruiter role, right? And we were getting a lot of applications, and we were trying to see how we can act upon all the applications and put the message out. But this gentleman's message stood out just because whatever we had put it in a JD, that we wanted somebody who can improve the hiring efficiency and what so and what not, this gentleman sent a very crisp message saying that I have worked in so and so company. I have 2 to 3 years of experience. With this approach, I managed to increase the hiring efficiency by so and so percentage. And I have myself, structured a framework which helped me to reduce the offer drop ratio by so and so percentage. This actually caught our attention. Whether you clear the interview later or not, it's a different story altogether. But out of hundreds of applications, this application stood out.
Absolutely right. So this is another part of it. When you call for apply for a position, you get a different channels of candidates comes over there, and which channel which would be clicking, the more appropriate messages comes to you in a right format is going to click rather than just the CV alone. Absolutely, I am with you because people always wonder. I apply for a job, there is no response, but there is a multiple ways to reach out to make that happen. Very good.
Exactly.
Questions are pouring for you. I hope you are also seeing that in the window. I'm not even starting any of the question. I don't know whether we should continue our conversation or pick up these kind of a question. Nice to see that. But then, so probably I'll just pick up one question about salary part of it. Something is coming which we were also wanted to talk about it. Everyone is, this is from Pavni, everyone is seeing this career gap as a flaw and providing a less salary. How can we tackle this situation and get good salary? Tell us the magic, Deepa.
Wow, interesting. And honestly, I am being asked this question from so many people. Wherever I go, all the people ask me this question because, and I can actually relate to this question a lot because, as I said, I took sabbatical twice in my career, right? And I have faced this. And when I faced this for the first time, I actually sat down and understood the reason and understood the way out. Okay, and this is something which I want to share with all of you right now. Okay, so navigating salary discussions after a break or maybe a domain shift, it's not only about a break. When you are shifting the domain also, you can get caught in the situation, and it is tricky, no doubt it is tricky. But what I feel is with the right approach, the candidates can definitely advocate for fair compensation without undervaluing themselves. Now, how do we do it? First, research. I again say research. Research the current salary benchmarks and look for roles with similar responsibilities, not the titles. Please note, I'm not talking about the title. It's very different. Every company has similar responsibilities, but different titles across, right? So you have to go to the platforms like we have Glassdoor, right? So you just go there, list down your responsibilities and see how the market is paying for such roles, right? Second, when you are in the middle of conversation with the HR, do not focus on the break. Instead of focusing on the break, I would say highlight the skills gained, right? Maybe you would have done a freelancing project where you would have learned something which brings value to the new role. Highlight that. Maybe you would have done a certification. Highlight that. Okay, and emphasize on the value you are bringing onto the table, right? And avoid underselling language, like I am only expecting this much. Oh no, I know I'm starting over. No, a big no. Use phrases like, hey, I'm excited to bring my experience into this space and grow with the team, right? Or maybe based upon my research and scope of this role, please note, scope of this role, I'm targeting a range of say X INR to Y INR, right? With these couple of approaches, and in fact, salary negotiation topic is a very vast topic. I'm trying to kind of shrunk it for this conversation. We can definitely do a detailed session on this, but these are very, very basic and important pointers which I feel that candidates really need to follow when they are into the salary discussions with the HR team.
Awesome. Very good. Thanks for just sharing that insight of how you projecting yourself is going to be a game changer to just set the salary negotiation rather than allowing them to just do what they wanted to say about it. Thank you. And there is a question, another one is popping up saying from Sushila. I have 1.9 years of experience in a technical recruiter, and I have 7 years of gap because of maternity and for childcare. Is it possible to switch different domain in HR? For that, should I need to do some upskilling to enter into the industry? Please let me know. One more thing, I am also from BTech background.
All right. Interesting. So, whenever there is a gap in your career, or whenever you want to relaunch yourself in the industry, you really have to do one small exercise. You have to first list down what your choices are. What do you want to be, or where do you want to go? What your aspirations are. uh, Please do not follow your co-workers or your friends just because if they are going into one particular direction you also have to follow. No, because it is never one size fits all theory. It's not, right? So you have to list down your aspirations. What do you want to be, or where do you want to join which role. The second subcategory to it is for joining XYZ organization as a technical recruiter, what are the requisites to become a technical recruiter right now after a gap of 7 years? What industry is asking for? Because I'm sure you will agree with me, Manjula, the kind of recruitment space we were in 7 years ago, we are not right now, right? The recruitment has evolved. Earlier, maybe the recruiter was just a postman sharing resume from the candidate to the hiring manager, and our job was done. But at this point in time, where we are talking about AI and chat GPTs and whatnot, the tech landscape, we really have to upskill ourselves. We have to write down the prerequisites required for the technical recruiter role and then validate it against your skills. Do you really have those? Do you need training for something? Do you really need a little bit of hand holding or maybe a professional certification? Once you are sure and definite about that, that gives you a direction. If you feel that, okay, I am not very confident about AI recruitment, or I'm not very confident about X-ray search, I'm just giving a basic example. Let's start learning X-ray search first and then start applying for the job roles. So when you are fully enabled, and I use this enable word frequently, and sometimes people comment on that, but enable is a very I would say a right word for these kind of situations. You have to enable yourself for the role you're applying for. If the role demands XYZ skills, you have to first see if you have those XYZ skills and what do you need to do to achieve those, and then apply.
Agree, absolutely. So, enable is another word. Let me also rephrase it, where we have to get enabled to just apply for a right role and get skilled. And actually, we should also be able to find out to gain the project experience even through GitHub or different other places so that we are able to quantify and qualify we have just done about it. And organization like you, I would say that we work with several organizations like Infosys, Cisco, Epsilon, etc. There's a returning programs.
Yes.
Yes, that program enables the women to just come and experience and showcase what they've just learned. It allows them to absorb and then convert them to the full-time employees after the 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, depends on.
Exactly.
That's another way to just do about it.
Yes, rightly said. Yes.
Right. So, one another question is I'm just going to pick it up just for the lack of time because I wanted to talk about more about your HR Dropouts also is coming into the industry very well when you're just going about it, right? One, volume of people apply, but the selection ratio is very less. But in spite of going through this cycle of a time from JD publish to screen, do your L1, L2, drop everything, and when you offer someone and there is a dropout, right, this is really a challenge for at least if we get to know other people we would have just selected where they would have got that opportunity. I'm also looking at the two lenses. The community would have just got a different opportunity, we are just missing that about. And for organization also it's a productivity and the huge cost we are just spending on it. What's your insight on that? What do you think as a professional, what ethics and things we should follow about it?
Okay, so before I actually talk about this topic in detail, let me tell you, I had written a blog on the same topic, I think a decade ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now you can understand the problem still persists after 10 years, right? Now, the candidates really, need to understand one thing, that when they drop or when they decide not to tell a company and drop abruptly, it significantly impact hiring teams, right? Both operationally and emotionally. And I'll tell you why in a while. It's a curative effort from the business, from the recruitment team. It's a time bound process which we follow. There is a lot of effort going on, to bring in one quality candidate on board, and it definitely impacts the team. Now, if I talk about operational impact, again, time and effort which we spent on, say, onboarding prep, internal coordination, documentation, and if there is a critical role for which we actually kind of identify this candidate for, so the project timelines get affected, right? And even if we see candidates who come and renegotiate, there are people who come to you and they kind of try to renegotiate on the salary, but they need to actually understand that salary renegotiations post acceptance the offer can definitely strain the compensation frameworks what we have internally, right? And it in certain cases it definitely sets difficult precedents, right? So maybe we will require reapprovals or adjustments or whatnot, and it kind of slows down the entire process. Your timelines are getting stretched, right? And of course, the team morale, the recruitment team kind of, they feel misled or frustrated, and they have to kind of pause the other interviews because we have already offered a candidate. And when this situation happens, they have to kind of restart everything all over again. Now, how do we actually deal with it? I always say only one thing to all my candidates. Whenever I do my HR round or whenever I do salary negotiations, I tell them very clearly that, say, hey, evaluating multiple offers is not a problem. We don't even buy anything for our house without going for multiple options. We choose the best for us. So evaluating multiple offers for yourself is not a problem, but timely communication to the company where you're not joining is very important, right? So even even before accepting the offer, I would say the transparent pre-offer conversations should start happening. You should discuss your salary expectations very clearly, ideally before the offer stage, ideally before the offer is kind of getting rolled out, and ask the candidates, or I would say from a company perspective, I'm saying that we should start asking candidates that, this particular offer acceptance is a commitment, not a placeholder. Because I have seen candidates who have 90 days of notice period, they accept the offer, then they kind of scout for more, and the very first offer gets rejected at the end, right? So the candidates really have to be clear about their expectations very early, and they should take time to reflect, is it aligning with my role priorities? Is it aligning with my aspirations? You take time. You let the recruiter know that I will be responding to you within 24 to 48 hours, right? And if you really need to negotiate, do it before accepting the offer. And of course, if you still want to decline it, do it respectfully, right? Because I have seen candidates who try to ghost you completely. They stop picking up your calls. They don't respond to your emails on time. I definitely request candidates to communicate promptly and professionally, and thank the team, thank the recruitment team for their time, and explain your decision honestly, and we will understand. If you needed more flexibility, or if you had any other concern, share your context. We will understand, but do it respectfully. That's our request is as corporates.
Absolutely, it is a professional, ethical way of handling things better. And as you rightly said, when you buy a house, you do have a multiple choice. You weigh it, and you're also doing it. But then at the end of it, the world is very small. We'll be coming back. So
Yes.
at the part of the world, because many of the community member where we have just started, the one of the good thing about here, we don't see much of that kind of challenges for the women returnees. That's a one good news I would say about it. But
Yes.
the regular way when we are working, we are in the hurry to do that. Hopefully, and now the process is also becoming little stringent in corporate. We are just seeing the practices, the UN number, that salary, the BGV, everything is just coming over there and looking at that. So hopefully we should have a better way to conquer this issue in a rightful way as well. So again, another question is popping up just to check it out. I have 11.6 years of experience in experience and career break of 1.11 years and work in ETL, Tableau, SQL. For shifting to BA domain, how to show some experience? Would you like any specific inputs for me or projects?
Okay, so it again goes to the previous point, which I mentioned about that if you want to shift domain, you really have to understand what are the requisites for that domain. And if you really have those skills, and if you don't, then you have to go back and do some research on specific certifications or any freelancing project where you can gain the experience from. If you want to know any specific certifications, definitely I can list down few and send it via you, Manjula. I can definitely help Manju.
Perfect. Okay, good. So the next one is just about asking a similar kind of a question. So I'm just going to leave those kind of a break question where they are looking for a different expertise to do that. And Deepa and myself would be answering the question in the LinkedIn, whatever you are just posting, so that you get the answer for all the questions what you are posting about it. Now I just would like to shift the gear about it. We are thankful because our community members who just got placed in Epsilon is Gango about talking about the work culture, the leadership, and the kind of, in fact, the pay parity too, right? Everything has been set at the top of the level to bring the people. You've been experiencing our community. Tell us about your experience with our second innings. More than that, I would like to see what is your input to make us better. I would like to listen that part as well.
Okay, so Manjula, that we have had a very positive and very good relationship over the past few years, right? And being part of HSI journey, I think, has been incredibly inspiring for us. Um, what stands out most is the potential and the resilience of returnee women, and the way you guys your platform creates not just opportunities but a sense of belonging. That's what I see it as. It's a sense of belonging, and it's more than a career restart for these folks. And it's a community that I would say empowers, uplifts and empowers women, right? And if you are asking me about advice, I don't have anything but but saying that keep listening to the women yourself, co-create with them, and continue building bridges between corporates like us, corporate intent and individual aspirations. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Deepa. I think I keep telling about it. We are grateful to all of you, right? Right? Because as a community, we cannot survive if we are not being handled with a community of industry experts like you. And all of you, when you come and you not only just share your experience, also find the ways how do we uplift this community. So everybody does our bit. Otherwise, we will not be able to survive as on our own. Thank you so much for just bringing us together and creating the space, because when we create a women to come back to the work, it just not their family, the society gets improved, and the next generation we are seeing in the different light altogether.
Exactly. Absolutely. Totally agree on this.
Right. So thank you so much. And the last question, I'm just going to pick it up to figure it out to wind up our discussion is, how do you see HR leaders are can just grow in their career journey? You've seen 20 years of it. So somebody is from the middle management and seniors. What is that they should do? Because is it even HR? Sometimes it becomes a solo game. Though we talk HR, inside it is a solo game. Their organization, they couldn't do that. So how do you, as the industry, I'm just looking at you to look at that. How do we create a space for HR leaders to evolve and grow? Just give me your insights.
See, right now, when I talk about HR or maybe TA in 2025, most of the corporates, I would say, one of the most impactful strategies what companies have implemented is embedding HR or TA function deeply into the business. Okay, that means we are not just partnering with hiring managers, but we are truly understanding their goals, their challenges, and we are actually moving from being a service function to a strategic enabler, right? So the entire TA gamut has evolved over a period of time. As I said earlier, we are not a postman anymore, so we have to think strategically, right? So there are a lot of aspects to a TA leader also, apart from, of course, communication, strategic thinking. We have a lot of other enablers which helps us to stand out from the crowd. And of course, we can actually, it's a great topic, Manjula. We can do it next time probably. I actually just got few of the points in my head. We can explain in detail about how TA leader gets enabled. What are the qualities of a TA leader, apart from the basic qualities what we see. We definitely can speak in depth in our next session.
Absolutely. And you just set the tone here that the way you were talking about the kind of a content what you give is just going to make you to just come back for you. Out of all the applicants, what you just received, that one message was stood out to just bring one person. It's like that. When I was just talking about, you know what, I have more pointers for salary negotiation. We should just talk about it. And when I'm asking about for the HR leaders, again, it's a big topic and I have a big pointers I have to just do. I'm going to come for a next session. So the community would be coming back to me and asking, when are we going to have a Deepa session next?
Of
That's so
course,
interesting.
of course. I'll tell you, Manjula, there are, I mean, these couple of topics, like when it comes to how TA is embedded into the business, or how do you negotiate salaries effectively, or something similar topics, right? It definitely has a ocean of subtopics in it, and I would be happy to elaborate it for the audience. And this session may be ending right now, but I definitely would like to have all the questions coming back to me, and I definitely will respond one on one if possible, or maybe via you. We definitely want to make a difference with this session, and I will definitely try.
Lovely. So, community members, whoever is just watching, please understand the leader is coming and saying that one on one, I'm trying to just do that, make use of it. That's the only thing I can just request. But nevertheless, if Deepa is busy, I would be more than happy to bring the answers to you in the same thread for all of you so that we are able to get the best out of it. And once again, thank you, Deepa. It was very, very wonderful and clarity and warmth, information information for us to feel like you are no longer alone, you are together, and bring that kind of energy is amazing to look into that. Your voice represents what great hiring looks like. It is thoughtful, inclusive, and forward thinking. Thank you so much for
Thank
just
you.
together, and a pleasure to hold you, and looking forward. In fact, we do have our mentor series is coming on August 12th. If your calendar is available, probably I will just plug you for HR as a mentor to bring it
Of
over here.
course, of course. Thank you for having me here. It was a wonderful session, and I loved all the questions what we got all on the chat. Sorry, guys, we couldn't attend all the questions, but we will try to respond all of you as early as possible.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And as we just talking about, there are UiPath community agentic workforce trainings are going on for free from September 8th. Please make use of it. There are stalwarts are coming and doing a 4-day session for free. Please make use of it. And we do have a mentor series on August 12th. 10 tracks have been opened up. Please connect with the industry leaders. And plus, we do have 800 to 900 open requests from right from Gen AI to the testing. Please make use of it. That's a request we all have. We're all coming here together to hold you and then guide you in a right way, so that as a team together, we are empowering and creating the financial independence for everyone. Thank you so much.